Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look again at euro currency. So today, as usual, we have prepared a report. Since we haven't got a lot of events this week, report relatively short. So mostly we were analyzing the some balance between the policies of the European Central Bank and the Fed, and what tendency it could go, and what the reasons for this tendency. So because it has direct relation to the future euro to United States dollar rate. So and it seems that Goldman Sachs is not as far from the reality when he suggested that euro really could drop for 10% if Donald Trump would take the office. So there's also some other reasons exist for that, and especially with keeping in mind our quarterly bearish grabber that suggests a drop below the parity. It seems that's really could happen. That's what about the long-term situation. So speaking about the short-term perspective, take a look that on the daily chart we've got the pattern that discussed on Friday. Indeed, market has tested a MACD predictor line, and we've got the bearish grabber. This grabber tells two things. First, it's purely practical one that we suggest a drop below the lows, whatever it will be. But most probable, I suppose, that it will be some run to the 107 area, because market has uncompleted weekly downside extension, and it's also weekly trend line and stands at this level. So 107, 107.40 should be very interesting on the next week. Second, it clearly illustrates the warnings that we have made on Friday. We said, guys, despite what we have on the intraday charts, whatever reversal patterns are forming on the euro currency or any other market right now, the fundamental background is still working. It is major driving power. That's why be prepared for higher risk of these patterns, and be prepared that they have more chances to fail compared to the ordinary situation, where a situation in the market stands relatively balanced, it not under impact of some political risks or something. Here is a different situation. That's why be very skeptical on any changing of the direction. I mean, if you see some patterns on lower time frames, until the major fundamental background is working, and it's still working, it will keep working until election day, or maybe even longer, because we don't know what the consequences will be after elections, when the results will be announced, what could happen. So it's very tricky moment for discussion. So for us here is more important is the grabber, and correspondingly, if we return back to idea of our hand and shoulders that we talked about on Friday, so we said keep watching for patterns. As I said, I prefer this big pattern. You could also watch for smaller pattern. You can see that chances that the market will form this right arm are minimal, just because it's already overextended compared to this one, if you're focusing on this minor pattern. Downside action relatively strong, and with the new background, with the grabber in place on the daily chart, this phantom chances to get some reversal. More probable that we will get some downside continuation, as I said. This is now our primary scenario. Whether it will be in the way of the butterfly or it will be straightforward downward action, it's not as important. The target of this butterfly will be complete 107.12. So it's very close to what we discussed on the daily chart. And maybe when this butterfly will be formed, that might become the left shoulder, as you can see. That might become the head. Since we will be around the support, we will be at the weekly target, we will be at the trend line support, on the weekly trend line support. Maybe here, especially with this mess that we will get on the next week, except the Halloween celebration, we will get gross domestic product for the third quarter, we will get retail sales, we will get personal consumption expenditures, we will get payrolls. So all this mess might be in favor of the changing situation, at least in the short term. So that is our trading plan. First, we are watching for downward continuation, approximately to the 107, on average 107.20. Let's talk in this way. And then we will be watching for additional signals, how this butterfly will manifest itself. So whether it will trigger real reversal, supported by some changes in the statistics results from maybe, but this will be already the next step. In the beginning of the week, we are watching for a downside continuation based on this possible pattern, and especially based on the daily grabber. That's our plan for coming week.